Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today I'm going to talk about CoPilot on the Nintendo Switch. Now, CoPilot was released for the Xbox One, and basically what it allows you to do is it allows you to link two controllers together so you're using them as if they were one controller. So for example, normally you would just have one controller to one player and another controller to another player. By using CoPilot, what you're doing is you're using the inputs from both controllers as one controller. So for example, you can use a left analog stick here and you can also use it here. The main reason it was released was for people with disabilities. For example, if you were missing limbs in your body, then you could still, by using two controllers, have a good gaming experience. So for example, if you were missing your right arm, you could still use this controller, the left side of it using your left hand, and then you could use your right foot on this controller here using the buttons. So between two controllers you will be able to do all the inputs, but there's lots of other fun things you can do with it that I'm going to explain in this video. Now on the Xbox it is fully released and fully official. It's there for you to do. On the Nintendo Switch it's not, but there is a workaround. But depending on when you're watching this video, it was made in June 2017, this feature might be patched, so it might not work when you come to actually view this video if you're viewing it in a year or two's time. I'm hoping Nintendo will release this because it is a great feature, not just for people with disabilities, but at this moment in time it's unofficial. It's just a workaround that happens to work by using a certain adapter. So let me get into it and show you what you need, and then I'm going to show you a few games and give you a few suggestions of how you can use this feature. So basically, as of June 2017, they did a new software update, version 3.0, and in that, somebody worked out that you can actually connect up the GameCube controller adapter to your Switch and then play your GameCube controllers on your Switch, which already is fantastic, and I've already done a video on that. But what I like is, by doing this, you can connect up to 4 GameCube controllers and they will all operate as one controller. So basically what you need to do is you just need to plug in the GameCube adapter into the USB port. This is the one you need. It's a MayFlash one, a GameCube controller adapter for Wii U and PC USB. You need to set it to PC, and you also need to download a specific driver to make it work. It won't work when you take it out of the box. You do need to plug it into a PC to download a driver. I've already done a separate video on that, so you can watch the setup if you are interested in doing this yourself. And then these controllers will work with a lot of games, but not all games. The games it will work with are games where the analog stick and the directional pad do the same thing. So for example, on Mario Kart and Street Fighter, if you were to do left on the analog stick, it's the same as doing left on the D-pad. And the games have different things, like Zelda, the analog stick does different things than the directional pad. It's not going to work. But if they do the same thing, so on the older Neo Geo games and a lot of the more simple games, then these GameCube controllers are going to work. Okay, now let me show you it working on Mario Kart 8. Now, with these controllers, there is no home button, so you're still going to have a Joy-Con handy or your Pro Controller handy to be able to hit home and do certain things that you can't do when you're using the GameCube controller. But when you're using these controllers, these will all be registered as one controller. So for example, it will be registered as player 1, and then if you have a look, the Pro Controller is going to be registered as player 2. So you can mix and match. You know, you can have all the GameCube controllers operating as one, and then you can have your Pro Controller, and then you can have 2 Joy-Cons if, for example, you want it to have 4-player split screen on Mario Kart, and then on the ones with the Nintendo GameCube you can do your dividing up on the controllers, you know, splitting it between 2 or 3 people or whatever you want to do. So let me show you it working. Now the controls are going to be the same. You can either steer using this one here or your directional pad. You've got A to accelerate, B to brake, and then you've got R to drift around corners and L to use your power up. Okay, so at the moment you can see if I press A, it's moving around the place, and left analog stick and left directional pad, and then brake is that one there, and reverse, B for brake and reverse, and then to drift I'm going to be hitting the right button up here, and then to use the power up, you can see I've got the power up in the top left hand corner, I'm going to be using that one there. Yeah, okay, so you see it's working there. But now let's say if I use this wireless third-party GameCube controller, I can do exactly the same thing. You see, drift around the corners, brake and reverse. So one feature that I like about CoPilot is teaching younger kids how to game or gaming with young children. So you know it can be a bit annoying if you're trying to game with someone that's 3 or 4 years old, because obviously they haven't got the full understanding of all the different buttons on the controller. But what you can do is you can let them, for example, do the steering, or what would probably be more fun is if you do the steering, accelerate and brake, and then give them this controller and let them do the drifting and the power up. So every time you go around a corner, you can let them do the drifting, and then when you get the power up, they can do that to try and shoot the person in front or leave a banana skin behind or whatever you're going to do. And in that case, then you're involving them in the game, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Another thing is, what would be a good idea, but you have to be quite imaginative for this one, is co-op single player games. So if you've got a single player game, still doing co-op, but a local co-op just between the 2 of you, or the 3 of you, or the 4 of you, but you're going to struggle now trying to divide it up between 4 people. But let's say 2 people. Even on a Nintendo Switch, one person could be doing, let's say for example on Tetris, one person could be doing the placing of the blocks, and then the other person could be doing the rotation of the blocks. So even if you were just doing 1 player on it, you could still play 2 players on it. Or another example, this would be on the Xbox for example, would be World of Tanks. I know that's not on Nintendo Switch, but I'm just giving you an example. So on World of Tanks, one person, like in real life, can be driving the tank and moving it around and accelerating and braking, and then another person can be doing the turret and the shooting, just like you would do in real life. One person doesn't drive a tank, it takes a team of people. You just have to use a bit of imagination, and then you'll find that you can have a lot of fun. So it's not just for people with disabilities, it's not just for teaching younger kids or helping younger kids out on hard levels. You know, they get to a certain bit of the game where they're finding it hard, rather than them passing you over the controller. You can do that bit for them and let them carry on, and then they feel better because they've still got the controller in their hand and not passing it to you every few minutes and losing interest. If you can think of good games on the Nintendo Switch for CoPilot, please add them to the comments below. In my opinion, I think that Mario Kart could work because, like I said before, you can have one person doing the power-ups and stuff and trying to shoot the people and leaving the banana skins behind. I also think Tetris would work relatively well, kind of fun. You know, you have to cooperate with each other, teamwork. One person's placing the blocks and then the other person's rotating. Also, maybe even possibly Street Fighter, you could have a bit of fun with it. You could have like one person doing the left and right, you could have another person doing the punches and another person doing the kicks. Obviously, it's going to take a bit of discipline because one person can just take over and do everything, but it would be kind of fun then because you're having to work with your team to beat the opponent. So that's it working on Mario Kart. Let me just show you Street Fighter. Now, just before I show you Street Fighter, I'm just going to run through the games and say what does work and doesn't work. Right, okay, Mario Kart does work. Snake Pass doesn't work. Metal Slug 3 works. Blazing Star works. Street Fighter works. Fast RMX does not work. Skyer 5 works. Blaster Master works. Snipper Clips doesn't work. It's a Joy-Con game. Tetris works. Zelda does not work. And 1-2 Switch doesn't work. Again, it's a Joy-Con game. So as you can see there's more than half that does work. There's going to be loads more of games that do work. There's going to be loads of games that don't work. So again, if you know that a certain game is going to work, please add it to the comments to help other people out. Now let me show you Street Fighter. Right, okay, so as you can see, it's working here on this one. And then if I was to swap controllers to this wireless one here, you can see controlling the same character using another controller. And then even move on to the third controller, this little aftermarket third-party cheap Chinese version. Again, it works exactly the same as the others, albeit it's not as nice because the buttons don't feel as nice, but you can see it's working the same way. Right, okay, and there's other things you can do with this third-party controller here. You can do little cheats, like if I was to hit turbo and then Y, you can see now, to do my 100th hand slap, all I've got to do is hold it down. You can see that button blinking, and I haven't got to repeatedly press it. Yeah. So there's other benefits as well, not just the CoPilot by using these GameCube controllers. Okay, so that's how you play CoPilot on the Nintendo Switch, although it is unofficial on the Nintendo Switch. Hopefully in the future they will bring it out, and I hope that they bring it out for PlayStation as well, because it is great, not just for people that are missing limbs, but also for people that want to teach their younger children, or you wanted to play this with people that are not used to video games. Sometimes it can be a bit daunting. There's so many buttons to press, they kind of give up before they start, but you can help them along and just let them do the simple things while you're doing the aiming and the trigger and stuff like that, and then let them just move around and have a bit of fun. As well, the imaginative side is ways that you can come up with single player games but doing local co-op on that single player game. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe for more how-to videos. Take care, bye now.